welcome back everyone. Can you please put your water bottle and lunchbox back in your backpack, please? I hope you guys all had a great lunch. And when you guys are done, please gather on the carpet, crisscross applesauce with spoons in our bowls so that I know that you guys are not touching one another and we all have our own space. Perfect. Thank you guys for doing that so quickly and quietly. Tonight is our first Chiefs game of the season. Is anybody watching? Yeah, awesome. Does anybody know what time the game's on tonight? Madison? 7, that's really close. It's between 7 and 8. It's a really weird time. Logan? 7:10? Yes. Good job. So, that brings us into our lesson today. Our learning goal is that I can tell and write time in hours and half hours using analog and digital clocks. You guys might not know what that is, so I give you a little picture here. This is an analog clock, and this is a digital clock where it already tells you what time it is. This one's a little trickier. We got to figure out what time it is. This is not a great picture, but could anybody tell me what time this clock says? Oh, that was a quick answer, Dakota. 12:30? That's amazing. Yes, exactly right. So to get us started today, I'm going to be showing us a short video about what clocks are and how to read them.
As you can tell, the hand is moving around in a circle, and today I'm going to learn more about clocks. Would you like to learn with me? Great! Uh-oh. This, kids, is a clock, as you might already know. This whole circle that has all the numbers and lines on it is called the face of the clock. What else do you notice about the clock?
Anybody else know? Anybody think? Yes, Logan? Numbers? Yeah, that's a good one. That's a good answer. Let's see what he says.
There are lots of numbers that go all the way around the clock. These numbers represent the hours on the clock. You will also notice that there are tiny lines that go all around the clock. There are 60 lines that go around the clock, to be exact.
That's a lot.
These little lines represent the minutes, and there are 60 minutes in 1 hour. What other things do you see on the clock? These little pointers are called hands. They do not look like the hands that we have, but these are the hands for the clock. There are 2 hands on this clock, and can you tell me if they are the same size?
Do we think those are the same size, guys? No? I don't think so either. Let's see.
The hands on the clock are not the same size, and this is important because one of the hands tells us the hour, while the other hand tells us the minutes. The longer hand that you see here is called the minute hand. The shorter hand is called the hour hand. So the long hand tells us the minutes, and the short hand tells us the hours. Can you see the hands spinning around the clock?
Yes, awesome.
Great. The hands are spinning in one direction around the clock. This is called clockwise direction. The hands on a clock always spin this direction, starting at the 1 and going around to the 12. Maybe you can answer this question for me. Which hand moves faster around the clock? The hour hand or the minute hand?
Does anybody know that answer? Cody? The minute hand goes faster? Let's see.
Great job. The minute hand moves faster around the clock.
Good job, Cody.
Let's do a quick review of what we have learned so far. The part of the clock with all the numbers and lines on it is called the face of the clock. What do you think the little lines tell us? They tell us the minutes. Great job, guys. Now, last but not least are the 2 pointers that spin clockwise around the clock. What are these pointers called? Correct, they are called the hands of the clock. The long hand points to the minutes while the short hand points to the hours. So we have the hour hand and we have the minute hand.
Does that make sense to you guys? Yes, I heard yes for the most part. We will review in just a moment.
Awesome job, kids. We now know the basics of the analog clock. Did you know there is another type of clock that we use? Have any of you seen what they call a digital clock?
Yeah,
A
good job,
digital
guys.
clock also tells us what time it is, just like the analog clock we learned about. On the digital clock, we see the hour and minutes in a little different way. The two dots on top of each other separate the hours from the minutes. The hour is on the left side, and the minutes are on the right side. Both of these clocks are showing 4 o'clock. The analog clock on the left uses hands, lines, and numbers to tell us the time. The digital clock on the right tells us the time as well, but only uses numbers. Wow, this stuff is way awesome. Today we learned about all the cool things that clocks have. Stay tuned because next time we will learn how to tell time with the clocks. Thank you.
All right, everyone. All right, guys. I'm gonna have you show me with your fingers. One being that you guys kind of don't understand at all. Two being that you kind of understand, but you need a little bit more help. And three meaning that you can master this. You got this. All right. I'm seeing mostly threes, and I'm gonna come around and help you guys that are struggling a little bit, and for those of you that just are completely confused. So, what I'm going to have you guys do is pretty tricky, so I'm going to be coming around and helping you guys. We're going to just be creating a clock for right now. So, we have this circle. It's divided into 12 parts. We are going to be labeling this, which I'm going to start you guys off and I'm going to show you kind of how to do it, and then we're going to turn it into a color wheel, and I have an example of that for you. So my paper passer outer can come up and hand these out in just a moment, but first I'm going to demonstrate exactly what we're doing. So this is what it looks like. And then with a pen, we're not going to write inside the circle, we're going to write on the outside. So the first number, you can kind of use my example up here to help you, is a 12. So we're going to write a 12 up here. This is exactly how your paper is going to be too. And then 1. Does this make sense? So you're going to label this all the way around. And then what we're going to do is color in, just like a color wheel. And I'll have my example sitting up here for you. And what I want you guys to notice is that on the color wheel, I'm sure you guys have probably done this in art, but on half of this, so this side, is going to be cool colors. What's an example of a cool color? Does anybody know? Alexis? Blue, exactly. So you can see blues right here. Now for the tricky part, as you can see on my wheel, it shows blue, violet. So for blue and violet, what you're going to do is you're going to color blue or color violet, and then over it, using a colored pencil or your preferably colored pencil, because a marker is going to be pretty hard to see. Colored pencil, I'm going to color it over a little bit to make the other color. So it's going to be a mixture of blue and violet in that circle. And then, can anybody tell me a warm color? Logan? Yellow? Yes, that's exactly right. So there is yellow, and as you can see, there's also like red, orange, yellow, orange, like I said, coloring over just 2 different colors for that. And then I'm also going to do this, so I will have that given to you guys and passed around when I have words on. And then for anyone who finishes, if they could also find a partner that is also finished, we're going to be doing this worksheet as partners. So whoever is done, and if you're done, partner up with them and do this worksheet for me. I'm also going to give you an example of this. So what you're going to do is draw the hands on each clock to match the time on the digital clock. So here we have 2 o'clock. So we're going to put our dot in the middle, just like that. And we're going to draw a what? A small hand or a big hand? Or a short hand or a long hand? Short hand first, pointing to the what number? 2. Exactly. And then So we need to know that 2 or 2:30. So am I going to have my long hand pointing to the 6 or the 12? The 12? Yes, good job, Dakota. Just like that. And once you are done, I'm going to have my work collector come around. We have about 30 to 40 minutes to get this done. If we don't finish, do not worry. All right, so I'm going to have her go ahead and pass those out and have you guys get started. If you have any questions, just raise your hand and I will come over. All right. Here we go. Perfect. Go ahead and leave this up here for you too. And these will be right here on the edge of my desk for you to come up and grab one. And the work collector will come by at the very end of all this and pick up your color wheel. Perfect. Thank you guys so much. My work collector did a great job on getting this all organized on my desk for me. Does anybody have any questions or concerns? Yes? What's your question? Yeah, I will say that this did make it a little confusing to do the clock since you had to do your hands, but I also wanted to make sure that we were lining up them right. So if you had, for example, a 1 o'clock, that you would be able to line that up. Does that make sense? Perfect. That makes my heart happy that you understand now. Do we feel comfortable with this? Pretty comfortable? Show me a 1, 2, or 3. Perfect. I'm seeing mostly 3s. So let's make sure. Learning target. I can tell and write time in hours and half hours using analog and digital clocks. Do we feel comfortable determining which one is an analog clock and which one is a digital clock? Yeah? Okay, I'm going to put my finger on one. Can somebody raise your hand and tell me which one this clock is I'm pointing to? Alexis? A digital clock. Thank you. And Cody, I saw your hand raised next. Can you tell me what this one is? An analog clock. Yes, exactly. Thank you guys so much. Those are great answers. It makes my heart so happy. All right, now let me tell you how we're going to review for this tomorrow. Tomorrow we're going to do a Kahoots. I know you guys love Kahoots. So we're going to do a Kahoot and it's going to be multiple choice. We're going to use our Chromebooks to sign into Kahoot. Tomorrow I will give you guys the link and we'll sign in using our what? Yes, our actual names. We're not doing nicknames because then that doesn't help Miss Peyton understand or know who is who and doesn't help me make sure that you are understanding. All right, awesome. Thank you. All right, any other questions? What will the Kahoot be? The Kahoot is going to be kind of like your guys' worksheet, just like this. So for the Kahoot questions, it's going to have a clock already finished for you. And sometimes it'll have a digital clock. And multiple choice will be 4 possible answers. And you're going to just click the corresponding answer. So if it looks like this, then and the possible answers will be up there and one of them will be correct. The 2 o'clock would be the correct answer. Now, if you saw this, then we would know that it would be 2 o'clock. And then this is going to help me assess whether we need to work on this a little bit more or if you guys got the hang of it. All right, I think it is almost time for recess. So I hope you guys have fun and we're going to go ahead and line up and I'll have my line leader go ahead and get in the front of the line and then go ahead and line up just how we normally do in the alphabetical order. All right, let's head out to recess.